Not every restaurant in Disney World ends up on our top restaurant list. So what happens if you end up dining at these not so great spots? We've got you covered with exactly what to order. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now, Disney World is loaded with so many really amazing restaurants that it can be hard for us to pick a favorite. But with so many locations to choose from, a few spots are bound to make their way to the lower end of our list. So what do you do if you find yourself eating at one of these spots on your trip? It happens, believe it or not, sometimes you can't avoid it. But don't panic, we've got the best things you can eat at some of Disney World's worst restaurants. We're starting this list with Big River Grill and Brewing Works. This is located over on Disney World's boardwalk, and at first glance, it looks like it should be a decent spot to grab a bite. But in our repeated visits, we consistently find ourselves a little let down by this spot. For starters, Big River has an on-site microbrewery, which is super cool, right? Well, the vibe doesn't quite match up. The ambiance is super generic for such a lively spot right on the boardwalk. Also, it's a conference magnet. There are a lot of conference hotels in that area. Swan, Dolphin, Boardwalk, Yacht Club, and all the conference attendees go to that restaurant for some reason. Also, the menu never changes there. It's always the same menu and nothing is really outstanding, but we do have the things that you need to try if you're there. The beer, it's actually really good beer if that's your thing. They offer a fantastic sampler of 7 of their current brews, and they've also got a seasonal one in there. So is this worth the trip to Big River? Probably not, unless you're really looking to try some local beers beyond Cigar City or Funky Buddha without leaving property. So we've got our beer. What about the food to go with it? We found the food has more of a neighborhood chain quality to it. Nothing's bad that we tried, but it certainly wasn't wowing us, and it never wows us. So when you're dropping some serious cash on dining at Disney World, we bet you want to get something that really stands out. Many of the items we've tried needed more. More cheese, more sauce, more seasoning, more veggies, more flavor. But if you're staying near the boardwalk and the lure of microbrewed beer has called out to you, the fare here is certainly going to suffice, but it's doubtful, compared to other restaurants in Disney World, that this will become your new go-to restaurant. At least it hasn't been for us. Now, there's one item we definitely suggest you try if you find yourself at Big River, and that is the beer cheese soup. If there's one food that we hope to the beer gods that a brewery does well, it's beer cheese soup. And thankfully, Big River delivers on this big time. We never shy away from an excuse to essentially drink a bowl of liquid cheese and call it a meal. But heads up, this soup is rich and filling. The beer is subtle in this soup, but definitely there's enough to provide a great flavor and a hint of bitterness to offset all that cheese. It's served up with some toasted croutons on top for good measure, and it is truly excellent. Definitely something that I can highly recommend. So if you find yourself at Big River for some reason, get that beer flight and get that beer cheese soup. Next up, we're headed to Planet Hollywood. You guys knew it would be in this video, right? In 2017, Planet Hollywood Observatory in Disney Springs got a full-on makeover to help it blend in more to the theming of Disney Springs after downtown Disney became part of Disney World history. Every building in Disney Springs has a story to fit the larger narrative of Disney Springs, where it came from, why it is what it is now. It's actually really cool to dig into if you're strolling around the Springs. But how could they retheme a big, awkward, domey building to fit in the middle of this swanky, bustling Springs area? Easy. The observatory was the old local observatory in the town, because duh, obviously. And as time passed, it now houses a restaurant. There you go. That's the backstory. Now you can still spot all your favorite movie props around the restaurant. Ask your server about your favorite movie. Of course, you're going to see those costumes from The Princess Bride and the shrimp hand from Beetlejuice. But we didn't come here to look at the memorabilia or talk about the background. Okay, maybe we did a little. I think it's important. But what about the food? Planet Hollywood was never known for its gourmet menu. So with the redesign, they got celebrity chef Guy Fieri coming up with a redesigned menu. The result is a bit underwhelming. The emphasis on pushing everyday foods to the next level can be seen through much of the menu. Sometimes it works well, but in most cases, it doesn't. There's a lot of stuff that they've just deep fried and covered with cheese and ranch dressing, which sometimes that's okay, but not all the time. Highlights of the menu are the appetizers and a variety of sandwiches on offer, though steaks, fish, ribs, pasta, and other more common entrees are available. Now, we love Guy Fieri's restaurant downstairs, Chicken Guy. You guys know we talk about it all the time. But most of his stuff at Planet Hollywood falls flat for us, except for one thing. It's the pimento grilled cheese. This sandwich is the bomb.com, you guys. If you're not into cheesy, carby goodness, then this one is not for you. But if you love cheese, cheese on cheese, and cheese on cheese on cheese, then this is what you want to get. This sandwich comes loaded with melted cheddar, pimento cheese, that's right, pimento cheese, and 6 cheese mac and cheese between buttery sourdough bread. It's almost too much cheese, but that's not possible. It's really, really good. The garlic buttered bread packs a ton of flavor, and the varying textures inside, along with that pimento cheese, man, I'm telling you, it's magic. They come together to make one killer sandwich. So if you do end up at Planet Hollywood for some reason, hopefully your dishes are all clean because ours weren't. Double check that, but definitely get this grilled cheese sandwich. It is worth it. All right, next I'm headed over to Sunset Ranch Market. Oh, you guys, Sunset Ranch Market. I feel so bad when I stand in line at any of those little booth restaurants there, especially in the heat of the summer. And I think everybody in line here, you guys could be in air conditioning right now. There are counter service restaurants that are better than this, and you're sitting in air conditioning. So that's one reason why I have a problem with Sunset Ranch Market. The food is not great at all. And you're sitting outside in the heat, the elements, sometimes the rain of Orlando. And you just don't have to. You don't have to do it. But anyway, back to Sunset Ranch. This is actually a location encompassing a few smaller quick service kiosks in a covered area full of tables. The spots I associate with Sunset Ranch are Catalina Eddie's and Rosie's All-American Cafe, though some people also include Hollywood Scoops, Fairfax Fare, and Anaheim Produce in this. Now, as for the food, again, this is about as generic as you can get in Disney. Those single-serve puffy pizzas, they have those. Standard Disney cheeseburger, go to Rosie's. And with so much good food to be had around Disney, it's hard for us to justify spending our calories and our dollars on the food served here when there are so many better options readily available right down the street. Think about the Cobb salad around the corner at the Brown Derby Lounge. Head over to Backlot Express where you get to sit inside and have some decent eats. There's just so much more you could do here. If you gotta eat at Sunset Ranch Market, look past the sea of chili cheese dogs and burgers and you'll find the hidden gem of the fried green tomato sandwich. This one's pretty killer and it's vegetarian for our herbivores out there. It's served on toasted ciabatta bread with arugula, pepper jack cheese, tomato, seasoned mayo, and 3 crispy cornmeal breaded fried green tomatoes. The tomatoes here are perfect, salty, crunchy on the outside, at least ours have been, and fresh and juicy on the inside. If you've ever had a fried green tomato, give this a shot and see what you think. The flavors are really on point and you'll quickly see why fried green tomatoes are a Southern classic. But most other things at Sunset Ranch Market we could give or take, and we certainly don't want to eat most of them sitting in 100-degree heat and 100% humidity. All right, moving on to Animal Kingdom, to Pizzafari. Speaking of spots serving up those standard single-serve puffy Disney pizzas, the 2 most famous spots are Pizzafari and Pizza Rizzo, of course. Now, Pizzafari is located on Discovery Island in Animal Kingdom, right near the entrance to Pandora, the world of Avatar. Inside the restaurant is surprisingly colorful. The walls are covered in simple painted murals of animals in all colors of the rainbow. And here's a little FYI, if you go to each individual room, it shows animals of a certain type. Some of them are nocturnal, some of them are camouflaged. There's lots of different specifics to the rooms in Pizzafari. If you happen to walk around, just ask a cast member and they'll point it out for you. But the big menu item here is going to be pizza. I'm going to be honest, it's usually not good pizza. Disney's been making these puffy pizzas for 100 million years. They're never very good, and you can usually find something better regardless of what park you're in. So your options at Pizzafari, if you end up there, are going to be cheese pepperoni or pepperoni sausage pizza with a small pre-made side salad. Sometimes they throw some interesting stuff in there, like that shrimp flatbread they had for a while. That was awesome. But all the good stuff usually ends up coming off the menu eventually. But here is a big tip for you. There's a better, more substantial choice hiding in this restaurant you may not know about. And the bang for the buck on this one makes it absolutely worth heading to Pizzafari. So in 2018, they began a family-style dining option for dinner. It was $19.99 per adult, $11.99 per child, plus tax, or 1 quick service Disney dining plan credit, you guys. Guests are treated to more of a sit-down dining experience with this one every night from 5 to 7 p.m. So guests check in, they choose 2 of 4 side options, their choice of pizza, as well as their included non-alcoholic drink of choice. DDP guests can, of course, choose to order an alcoholic drink included with their DDP credit. Caesar salad, caprese salad, mini cannolis, they're all included with the meal as well. Guests find a table in a reserved room and wait for their food to arrive. When it's ready, your food is wheeled out to you on a cart for you to enjoy. Now, here's what sets this food apart from standard pizzafari. The pizza is actually good. It's not the pre-made Disney pizza served on the standard menu. Rather, these pizzas are hand-tossed and loaded with toppings, sauce, and cheese. The sides, salad, and dessert are all quite good as well. We loved the fresh caprese salad, which we were pleased to see was pre-cut to make for easy eating. The Caesar was a standard Caesar salad, but still enjoyable. The sides include 2 choices of pastas, meatballs, and garlic knots. Guests can choose 2 for their party to share. The best part of the family-style dining experience is it's unlimited. Finished your pizza? Order another one. Get a second helping on mini cannolis or salad. For just a quick service credit or a few bucks more than you'd spend on a standard pizzafari menu for a single-serve pizza, you basically get an all-you-can-eat 4-course meal with fresher, better-made food than you'd be served on the regular menu. So that's a huge deal, you guys. 1 quick service credit for essentially a table service meal? That's awesome. So if you end up at Pizzafari, book this ahead of time and take advantage of it. All right, the last restaurants we're going to talk about today, T-Rex and Rainforest Cafe. Now let's face it, you're not ending up at T-Rex or Rainforest Cafe and expecting the most stellar meal on the planet. You're there for the animatronic dinosaurs or giant elephants and indoor thunderstorms. You're usually there for your kids, although we have gotten plenty of emails from you guys telling us that you went there on your honeymoons as well. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You got kids who love dinosaurs. You've got a fiance who loves dinosaurs. T-Rex might just be the best part of your whole vacation. Who am I to judge? Now, both of these restaurants are pretty similar. They've got a similar vibe, similar food. They're both owned by the Landry's Restaurant Group, which also interestingly runs Yak and Yeti in the Animal Kingdom, which does have really good food. So weird, right? You'll find both restaurants, T-Rex and Rainforest Cafe, in Disney Springs, and Rainforest Cafe also has a second location at the entrance to Animal Kingdom. There's even a special restaurant-only entrance to the park. Breakfast at both restaurants is a little pricey for what you get. That being said, if you're on the Disney dining plan, they can be a better deal. Overall, these restaurants are pricey, but you're paying for the atmosphere rather than the food quality. Just keep telling yourself that over and over again. But since you are shelling out that hard-earned cash, here's what we'd recommend. At T-Rex, we're going to opt for the ribs called Mesa Bones, which are easily shareable. Much like all the entrees you'll find at these 2 restaurants, portions are huge and can help save some money if you're okay with splitting. At Rainforest Cafe, we'd recommend the pastalaya, chicken, shrimp, and andouille sausage join up to make a pastified twist on jambalaya, although you can get it served over Caribbean rice if you prefer. Both restaurants also serve up a signature chocolate dessert worth checking out. Plus, if you split your entrees, you've saved room for it. T-Rex has the chocolate extinction. This is a platter of dessert with 4 big servings of chocolate layer cake, 4 scoops of vanilla ice cream, and whipped topping. Made for at least 4 people, this one is huge, though you might want to ask for some extra sauce. And the Rainforest Cafe is famous for serving that sparkling volcano, which is a brownie mountain, seriously, like a full pan of brownies, with a ton of ice cream, caramel sauce, and hot fudge. Another one that's made for sharing. These brownies were actually very good, which was a pleasant surprise. So, believe it or not, at some of Disney World's least impressive restaurants, you can still find impressive menu items to get. So if you are stuck at those restaurants, if you've got to go to them for some reason, you can get good stuff. Just count on us here at DFB. We'll tell you what to order. So thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what your favorite and least favorite restaurants are in Disney World and what you've had to order at your least favorite restaurants. We can't wait to hear about it. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.